We will now reconvene for regular session. Mr. Steele was unable to attend this evening, so you're stuck with me. So I want to welcome you all this evening to the board meeting on November 24th, 2025. And we will now go to 3.02, approval of agenda of November 24th, 2025.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second, so it is passed. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? So it is passed. Thank you. Moving on to 3.03, if everybody will please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and the national and state colors presentation.
Reset. Oh. Please recite the pledge of allegiance.
Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh. Start. Raise. Up top. Oh.
You may be seated. Okay, 3.04, student government.
Thank you, Mrs. Taylor. As of this afternoon, we weren't able to, the student wasn't able to make it. Just verifying the Sussex Central Student Government rep is not here. Okay,
Okay.
we'll have them next month.
All right, thank you. 3.05, approval of regular meeting minutes for October 27th, 2025, and 3.06, approval of executive session minutes for October 27th, 2025.
I just have a correction for 3.05, the minutes. Under the IREA's representative comments, the minutes stated that the staff received a 0% raise, and that was her statement. I'm not disputing that. But during the meeting, it was clarified that teachers in fact received a 7% raise from the state, not from local funds. So I just wanted that clarification to reflect in the minutes so the public record is accurate.
Okay. We document that, please.
I'll make a motion to approve with the amendment.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, so that will pass. Moving on to 3.07 and 3.08, approval of board meeting minutes for November 3rd, 2025, and approval of executive session minutes for November 3rd, 2025. Do we have a motion or any discussion?
Can I make a motion to table those minutes for approval at the next meeting? since they were not on board docs.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay, we have a motion on the floor to table the minutes. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, so that will pass. Moving on to 4.01, public comments.
Yes, thank you. We have one person signed up this evening in person, and Mr. Mann will check to see if we have anyone signed up virtually. The first person is Wendy Mears.
Good evening. My name is Wendy Mears, and I'm speaking tonight as a Delaware educator and mandated reporter under Title 16, subsection 903. That law requires every school employee to report concerns about a child's safety and good safe, and it protects us when we do. In the past few weeks, we've seen national bipartisan conversations calling for the release of the remaining Epstein files, and it's reminded a lot of us of something important. When it comes to protecting kids, we can't afford to brush things off or assume someone else will take care of it. We've all seen what happens when concerns get pushed aside or dragged out for too long. And here in Delaware, we've had cases like the Earl Bradley case that showed us clearly that we cannot assume these things only happen somewhere else. They can happen here, and they are in our own communities. That's exactly why concerns deserve attention, not dismissal. That's one of the reasons why I'm here tonight. For several years, I've raised concerns with your board about child safety, trafficking vulnerabilities, and now missing children, and gaps in the system that could put students at risk. My advocacy has never been about politics. It has always been rooted in my legal and moral responsibility to protect children. Delaware law provides important protections for educators who speak up. Title 16, subsection mandatory 903. Title 14, subsection 1716, immunity for educators acting in good faith, and Delaware Whistleblower Protection Act, Title 19, subsection 1703, which prohibits retaliation when an employee raises concern about public safety or child welfare. Since early 2024, I've asked for meetings from your board, clarity and communication regarding decisions that affect my employment and my ability to fill my responsibilities as a mandated reporter. Many of those requests have gone unanswered, and some recent actions have made me generally concerned that raising child safety issues is being treated as a problem rather than a duty. I want to be very clear tonight. I'm not here to accuse anyone unfairly. I'm not here to create division. I am simply here to do what the law requires me to do and what my conscience will not allow me to ignore. So I'm asking you in the community from a place of sincerity and genuine concern, please don't turn a blind eye to my concerns I've brought to you in the past years and recent public comments that our media will also not report. Please don't let concerns about children be brushed off because they're uncomfortable or they're inconvenient. And please don't allow your hearts to harden when it comes to protecting vulnerable students who cannot protect
30
themselves.
seconds.
Thank you for hearing me.
Thank you. Any other? Okay. All right, that completes public comments. We'll now move on to new business. 5.01, school choice applications 2025 and 2026.
Thank you, Ms. Taylor. Within board docs is the school choice report for your review. Happy to answer any questions.
So I have a question. Are there any schools right now that are over capacity or markedly under capacity? It's a little difficult to read. I was just wondering if they could in the future be reported in percentages.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll amend this report. We talked internally today to provide percentages associated with the 85%, which is the utilization factor, as well as the percentage of total. So we can certainly, many of our schools are indeed over capacity. The report this evening is for this school year students, primarily students that leave in the middle of the school year or the beginning, as is the case now. Those are priority ones or good calls. We do consider good calls at this time of the year as well.
Thank you.
Perhaps they could be highlighted in red for us to notice.
Certainly.
Good point. Anyone else? Discussion? All right, do we have a motion to accept the school choice applications.
So moved.
And a second, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, hearing none, that will pass. Moving now to 5.02 Sussex Central High School Architects Contract Amendment.
Thank you. This was discussed at the most recent Buildings and Grounds meeting. And we acknowledged moving this forward to the board level for consideration.
Discussion?
Given the fact in the, when we did the Buildings and Ground Committee meeting and other meetings or committee meetings that same evening, we had discussed the concern about the, for lack of a better word, the turf and the reflection at Sussex Central, and it not been completely ironed out with that. Plus, we were given an oversight of the additional funds that were needed based on the project and the hourly amounts. Given that we did not come to any conclusion as to how this reflection issue at Sussex Central will monetarily be resolved, I would make a motion at this time that we table that until further information is received.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor to table until further information comes forth concerning the reflection issue on the courtyard at Sussex Central High School. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second. All right, sorry, I missed that. So we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, that will pass. All right, moving to 5.03. George Washington Carver and Selbyville Middle School cooling towers bid results. Mr. Dooley,
Good evening.
good evening.
On your board doc for this agenda item, you will find an attachment, which is the bid tabulation for the GW Carver and Selbyville Middle School cooling tower replacements project. The project engineer has reviewed the bids and recommends award to the low bidder, JT Richardson, including the award for the alternate. Funding for this project is from enhanced minor cap funds. This request for award and the bid tab were presented at the committee level. Absent of any questions, we are requesting school board approval at this time to award the project to the low bidder.
Any questions?
And make a motion that we accept the low bids offered by JT Richardson.
Okay, and we have a motion and a second to accept that bid from JT Richardson. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, so that will pass. Okay, moving to 5.05, pre-K tuition rate change. 5.05, excuse me. 04, I skipped one. Sorry, Mr. Dooley.
You're good.
5.04, Sussex Central High School change order notifications.
Okay, on your board docs for this agenda item, you will find 4 change orders which have been presented before the Buildings and Grounds Committee and which are being presented as board notifications as they are below the dollar amounts outlined under the board's procedure for change order approval thresholds. I have reviewed each of these with Dr. Owens. Mr. Brad Cowan with Richard Y. Johnson Construction is here to respond to any questions you might have. Absent of any questions, we are requesting school board approval at this time.
Any questions?
Sure, I have one question. So the largest change order this month for approximately $37,000 for gates and related work. Was this just a design error, an omission, or something that was added on later? Just trying to understand why this wasn't part of the original plan.
Sure. There's 2 parts to that, and that is, well, good evening, by the way.
Good evening.
Good to see everyone. Happy Thanksgiving. And a couple of parts to that. One is there's a fenced area at the south end of the athletic courtyard that had a fence in the original design, going through more security measures for that area. And working with the fire marshal too, that needed to be upgraded to have more security hardware on the fencing, because it's, even though it's outside, when you're out there, you need to have an exit out of that area. You exit into the building, and out of the south end of the gym, the athletic courtyard. And it needed to be secure so no one could come in. So that was added into that. And also where the greenhouse was located, that alternate was not accepted. And that's in the area just south of the CTE courtyard, right by the ag building or the ag department. And without the greenhouse there, we needed to pave that area because it would be an extension of the fire lane. So those are the two major components for that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? Okay, do we have a motion to accept the change orders? So moved.
Second.
And second, we have a motion and a second. All in favor? Opposed? Okay, so that will pass. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, now we can go to 5.05, pre-K tuition rate change.
Mr. Parker.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
We would like to present an increase in the pre-K tuition for next year. Currently, the increase would be a $75 per month increase per student for both the half-day and the full-day students that we have in our programs. Right now, in total, there is 97 of those in our program and this increase would come to a $72,000 increase in revenue for us. It would also still maintain the lowest rate within the county. I reached out to the other financial directors to find out what other school districts were charging, and on average, they charge around $600 per month. This increase for our full-time students would only take us from $325 to $400 per month.
What percentage of our students actually pay tuition?
That's a very low percentage. There's only 97 students that are in this program in total. Between Howard T and our early learning center, we have pre-K kids at both facilities.
How long has it been since the last increase?
It's a good question. I don't know the answer to that. It has been a while, I believe.
It's been a few years.
We appreciate you researching that. That's good information, and we appreciate your financial responsibility on finding that.
Sure, of course.
Anyone else? Okay, so we have a chance to increase the tuition for our pre-K students. Would anyone like to make a motion?
I make a motion to accept that increase.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor? Opposed? Okay, unanimous. We will pass that. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Okay, moving on to old business, 6.01, major capital planning. Skip on again. I am so. 5.06, staff survey. Take that. Okay, I would like to thank everyone who participated in the staff survey from the Indian River School District staff, from teachers, custodians, cafeteria workers, secretaries. We had 651 participants, and we had 4,000 written responses that were compiled into data that the board's receiving this evening in a big manual, with a binder with all in sections, thanks to Dan Mann, who put together all of this for us for easy reading. So we're going to be reading this and digesting it and understanding it. And by the December 15th meeting, we hope to come back to, the board hopes to come back and have their thoughts and feelings on how to move forward and hopefully making action plans to hopefully do school improvement and district improvement where needed, and to keep doing what we're doing right. So we appreciate this information. We will definitely be utilizing it to improve our district. Anyone else like to make comments?
Is this also going to be sent out electronically?
So all of the information was compiled and it's in your binder. And it's for all of the board to read and review so that when we come back on December 15th, we can talk about how we're moving forward.
Is it also going to be sent out electronically?
We hope to, after the board has time to do this, we hope to share it with the
No, I
public.
mean, send it out electronically to the board members.
No, it's just going to be this way at this time, correct, Dan?
They can.
And if you would like it from Dan, thank you, can do that.
And are we working on a certain, and this is great, lots of information and compile like this is really impressive. And are we working on a similar survey for parents, students, community members? Is that
Right,
in
we
the
want to
works?
continue doing the surveys. We hope to continue with administration. We hope to continue with families, and we hope to continue with community,
Great.
public. This information will be great information for starting points for the board and priorities.
How many participants was it sent out to?
One. About 1,200?
And you got 651.
Right.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you. All right, moving on now to old business 6.01. Major capital planning.
Thank you. This is all related to the ongoing finalized work at Sussex Central. All interior punch list completion sign-offs for the new school are due to RYJ this week. Weight room equipment will be delivered and installed the second week in December. Interior signage is in production and we are awaiting the installation date. Hopefully that is soon. Exterior signage bids are due December 2nd. Landscaping has been installed in the front entry of the school complex and is wrapping up our final items now. Final site work should be completed in the next 2 weeks, with the exception of the H wing, which is the former B wing. The ag maintenance building is also working towards completion. Work continues in the H wing. Furniture is due to arrive December 17th. We toured there a week or so ago. Lots of good progress in that location. So excited about that area for our students. The ag and maintenance building packages will be delivered to the site work team this week. And our executive group continues to meet monthly to explore cost saving, construction alternatives, and project obstacles. Happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Are there any more expected change orders in the budget?
They're wrapping up, Dr. Parsons. So the H wing is the area that's under the most construction now. I would hope that they're minimal. And again, we'll bring them to buildings and grounds for first consideration. And Mr. Dooley and I critique those and analyze those weekly if anything comes our way. So we'll
So
keep you updated.
none other in the shoot right now that you're aware of?
I don't believe so. I think tonight wrapped up everything that we had. Anything expected?
So 3 more change orders? Do you know the estimated dollar value of the change orders? Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to committee reports, 7.01, building and grounds. Mrs. Wright?
Yes, thank you.
Mhm.
We had our meeting on Monday, November the 10th, right here. It was called to order approximately 5:38. We discussed some of the things that you've already heard this evening. The major capital improvement update for Sussex Central, which constituted the change orders that we have here this evening. Progress is going on, as Dr. Owens just recently said, about the H wing and the new theater, catwalk, and all those things that we had approved earlier. We also talked about the architect's contract amendment, which is what we chose to table this evening until we had further information. We talked about the courtyard surf reflection discussion. Nothing was concrete on what we were going to do or why it happened or how it was going to proceed. So that again warranted the tabling this evening. We reviewed the work order report. Mr. Dooley talked about updating it to be more readable. And having his chief custodians put things in the proper way. We discussed the change order procedure. And then we went to George Washington Carver, Selbyville Middle School cooling tower replacements, which is what we approved this evening for JT Richardson Incorporated. And the final thing was our Futures Committee update. They met in October. They brainstormed on ideas for the usage of Millsboro Middle, and additional members have been added to represent the southern part of the district to attempt to cast a broad net of diverse opinions there for what needs to be done. We also, the following update, a few comments were given regarding hiring a marketing expert, the governor's awareness of referendum challenges, and various ideas that we may need to use going forward should or when the referendum does need to take place. And that was it. We adjourned, and our next meeting will be December 8th.
Okay. Thank you, Mrs. Wright. Moving on to 7.02, comprehensive school safety, Mr. Capel.
Yeah, report this one.
Okay. Moving on to 7.03, finance, Mr. Peden.
Yes, we met on November 10th. Mr. Toomey shared with the committee that the nutrition services received a donation in the amount of $9,448.19 from the Giant. These funds will be deposited into individual school accounts based on enrollment and will be used for additional food portions for students and to eliminate student debt. Mr. McRides shared with the committee that an individual who wishes to remain anonymous made donations in the amount of $7,000 for athletics and $8,000 to support PBIS and to offset costs for teacher laptops. Mr. Parker presented a proposal to increase tuition rate charged for pre-K typical students. The current rate is $325 per month, and the proposed new rate is $400 per month. The new rate is below local daycare costs and will provide additional funds for the district. And lastly, Mr. Parker reviewed the October 31st financial reports. That concludes my meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Peden.
Can I add the donations that you referenced, Mr. Peden? Thank you. Those will be on the December board meeting. They do require board approval, so you'll be seeing those next month.
Thank you.
All right,
Can I
7.
just bring up a question on the curriculum budget? I understand we've borrowed from the curriculum budget. I think it went from 600,000 down to about 300,000. Is there a plan to replenish the curriculum budget?
Mr. Parker, can you cover that when you get to your financials, if that's okay, Dr. Parsons? It does get recovered, and it's around the time frame in which we receive our funding. So if you could share that when you come up in a few minutes.
7.04, curriculum, Mr. Neal.
Thank you.
Mhm.
We met on Monday, November 10th. The main topic at that meeting was beginning of year DIBELS data. DIBELS is a short set of assessments that are used to measure and monitor development of early literacy and reading skills. That's something that's very important for the growth and development of our students. The purpose of DIBELS is it's a screening tool used to identify students at risk of reading difficulties. It's progress monitoring to track student progress over time. It informs instruction provided by teachers by highlighting specific skills needing attention. And it measures the effectiveness of interventions being used to support students during MTIS, which is structured supports that our schools provide students on a daily basis. So our district has been in the business of supporting early literacy for a while, obviously, and primarily right now in the elementaries, it's through the science of reading. We adopted in the spring of 2022-23 core knowledge of language arts, CKLA for short. And our curriculum is aligned with the science of reading. It's a structured literacy approach that is explicit, systematic, and sequential. Full implementation of CKLA began during the 2023-24 school year across all of our elementary schools. And obviously, when a new curriculum is adopted, there's a period of time during which, the implementation takes place. And then after so much time, we should expect to see some results. We certainly hope this year to see continued progress when we look at our students' results. So we talked at length about CKLA. It's a comprehensive language arts program. It's built on the science of reading. Teachers have gone through extensive professional development, not only teachers, but the administration as well. In addition to ongoing professional development, they engage in bi-monthly coaching sessions with professional development specialists. Principals as well have participated in monthly professional learning center sessions. So there's lots of work that's been put in by our staff with the goal in mind of helping all of our students improve in the area of reading. Another major component of what our staff is doing is effective tier 1 instruction. So that's every teacher, every homeroom or classroom teacher's responsibility to provide instruction, grade level, high quality instruction for all students. And that's an ongoing goal. Screeners, diagnostics, and other progress monitoring, something else that's constantly going on throughout the year by staff members. Screeners, such things as DIBELS, which identifies students' needs and especially students who are at risk. This information is used by staff to, determine, again, the support services that the students are required. During PLCs, professional learning communities, which take place in our school, all of our schools, teachers and staff members analyze data. And again, that information is used to inform instruction. And then in addition to that, teachers constantly get feedback from the Delaware Teacher Growth and Support System. They get feedback on what they're doing. Learning walks by principals, administrators, district staff, they constantly get feedback. So a lot of efforts are being done to make sure that we're doing everything we can as a district to improve the performance of all of our students. We've had some really rich conversations in our curriculum meetings so far this year. And if you would like more information, I encourage you to attend the next meeting because they've been rich. I'll entertain any questions if anyone has any questions. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Neal. And
Yeah, I
I'm a-
have, oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I just, one, I think it's great that we're doing the science of reading and our teachers are getting the full support they need for that. And I'm really glad that we're addressing it that way. So I was wondering, as a school board or superintendent, what are the goals for increasing the reading proficiency? Like we had our beginning of the year report, and do we have a goal for increasing a percentage? I know some of our schools, looking at the DIBELS report, doing extremely poorly with like 82% of kindergartners in North Georgetown below reading level. Some of the other schools just as bad. But then we have the Southern School of the Arts and Lord Baltimore that are doing well consistently. So I don't know, it is a different question. I don't know if we can learn from those schools what works for some of our lower performing schools, but do we have a goal for what percentage we would like to see an increase in proficiency in reading?
So in terms of DIBELS, that there's some targets that were provided. So the information that we covered was the beginning of the year, which is our starting point. So you can see there are some real deficits in many of our schools. Each of our administrators sets goals with their school teams, their teacher teams, but they set goals with us as well, the district administration, based on those targets. So in hopes that those growth targets will be met in both reading and math across all schools, not just the elementary. So there are targets that the state tells us we should be shooting for. And we also have our own internal targets. I don't know if you wanted to add anything to that.
Do you know what the targets are?
They can vary based on the starting point of those schools. So the target is somewhat different for schools with the lowest starting percentage, and they're adjusted for, you mentioned LB and you mentioned Southern Delaware School of the Arts. Their percentages may be different based on that starting point. We do meet mid-year with each of our principals, and we have that data. We'll have mid-year data that we can review at that time to see if we're on target or maybe those goals need to be adjusted slightly.
Can you share those goals with us so we just know if we're, is what they are, if we're reaching them?
The DIBELS information is in the presentation that was.
So what the
shared.
goals are? That's,
Say that
so
again.
what the goal of improvement is, that's in the DIBELS report?
So the individual, as Dr. Owen shared, the grade levels will have individual benchmarks based on where the students were at the beginning of the year. So in order to, what you will see is defined as like below standard, at standard, exceeding standard. So you will see percentages of who are there currently and then where we would hope that that group would get.
So that's in the report online, what the goal is?
It may not be written as a goal statement, but you'll see the growth that's expected.
Yeah, I feel like I didn't see that, so I
Okay.
might have to get up with you to see
Yep.
more specifically what that is.
Sure.
Thanks.
I have to say, just in attending, the curriculum meeting, Ms. Dorman did an excellent job of a very extensive, comprehensive
Absolutely.
presentation that helped us really understand where the students start and what they're expected to do according to the data. And every school is very individualized with what they have coming in and how they handle it.
The
So-
presentation slides were very good. They were very eye-opening.
Yes.
So
And
thanks.
secondary will be presented at the December meeting.
So when is the middle of the year report? When will that come out?
Semester ends the last week of January, so it will be probably February meeting if we can quick turnkey that data fast enough.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions, discussion? All right, moving on to 7.05 DSBA Board of Directors. Kelly, Ms. Klein.
On November 5th, Dr. Owens, Mrs. Hudson Briggs, and Ms. Taylor all attended the DSBA Professional Development Workshop where we saw presentations by Julie Kelleher, the Executive Director of First State Educate, Kristen Pigeon, Director of Programming for the Bill Biden Foundation for the Protection of Children, and many representatives of the National School Boards Association presented too. The next meeting for the DSBA is January 7th at 6:15 at the Gray Fox Grill in Dover.
So I would highly recommend you go to all of these events. They feed you very well.
They do.
It's very informative. I mean, all the.
Very interesting.
groups. I mean, there's quite a few from the National School Board Association. I was impressed with some there.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Klein. Now moving to 7.06 DSBA Legislative. Mrs. Briggs.
We've not had any meetings, but our next meeting for that will be in February 4th, Wednesday, in Dover. And just to piggyback on what Mrs. Klein was saying, that was the first board member workshop that they'd had since COVID. And they do plan on having another one in the spring. They didn't give a date.
Okay.
But that would be very helpful and informative when that comes around. If this was excellent. So looking forward to what they hope to bring to their agenda
That's
in
good to know.
the spring. And that's all I have. Like I said, we don't meet until February 4th.
Okay, thank you. 7.07 Special Education Committee, Mr. Neal.
Thank you. We had our first meeting on November 14th. During that time, we looked at just a current status of where things are in the Department of Special Services. Dr. Whitstead shared some information as follows. We reviewed the state complaints and due process mediations from the 24-25 year. We looked at restraints. Restraints has become a thing in terms of, the attention that we have gotten as well as other districts. So the last year, sometimes public perception and reality don't always match. And so we took a look at some of that information. What we're finding is certainly since COVID, we're having a larger number of students who are presenting unique challenges, and they are presenting situations where staff members are needing to make decisions to keep those students safe. And so I think it's going to be an issue that will require our ongoing attention as a board to support our staff as well as, of course, keeping students safe. Talk about school visits with administration and special educators. That's an ongoing thing that the Special Services Department does to make sure that student services are being provided. Also, we look at the summer programming, extended school year, and 12-month situations for our students who require those services. We took a look at all of that. As you know, back in September, we recognized our special education ambassadors, which is something that it's a highlight of our year each year. So that was something we discussed. We have several meetings remaining this year. Our next meeting will be held. Our meetings are held during the school day at 1 o'clock here in this building. The next meeting will be on Friday, January 16th. We'll put these dates out so that board members will know when they are and will have the opportunity to join us for any future meetings. Another component of the Special Services Department are parent council meetings. Parent council meetings are held to support our parents in the district who have special needs children. So there's a meeting on January 22nd, 2026. During that meeting, information will be presented by the Parent Information Center on IEPs. And that will be held at Sussex Central Middle. And there's another meeting in March and another meeting in May. Each of these meetings have specific agendas designed that give parents good information to help them with meeting the needs of their children. So that concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Neal. All right, so we're going to now move to 7.08 Policy Committee, and that would be me. The Policy Committee met on November 10th, and we approved the minutes. Then we moved right on to our second readings. There were 4 policies that had no changes or edits necessary under second readings. That would be BDDH, public participation at board meetings, DA, written code of standards conduct, JECCA, school choice, and KLB, instructional and library material review. So we will need to take action on these 4 policies this evening. The policies that were under review for BHA, new board member orientation. There was a request to change language regarding new board members' attendance at the May and June meetings. We will return for review at our next scheduled policy committee meeting. EE.1, McKinney-Vento, that was just a normal cycle review with no changes. GCBD, professional leaves and absences, no additional changes or edits were requested. Therefore, we will proceed. JCJ, professional staff timetables. We were going to change secretaries to administrative assistants in the last sentence. IGBG, supportive instruction, homebound, no additional changes or edits. JG, discipline policy, no additional changes or edits. KMA, relations with parent booster organizations, no changes or edits. We adjourned at 4:15 and the next meeting is scheduled for December 8th, 2025 at 4 p.m. So do we have a motion on the floor?
Actually, can I ask a question?
Absolutely.
Sure, I was just reading over, as a lot of policies to go
It's
through. You
a
guys did a lot of work, a lot of strike throughs, red lines added, so impressive. I was just looking at the library review, policy.
Mhm.
And, I noticed that it could be, I guess, parents, teachers, students that could request a book review. And if there's a policy behind it, why community members couldn't be included in that, like our district community members, if they could be included to also be allowed to request a book review. I would like to add that to the wording.
Okay,
So the new language and code that was passed by Delaware only allows students or parents who are parents of students in that school to file for a review of the curriculum. That language comes directly from state code.
So there is a policy against community members, like grandparents, requesting a review of library books.
It's excluded in the code that it has to specifically be a request that comes from the parent or their guardian or direct caregiver or a staff member in that particular school.
Okay.
kind of locked in.
Mhm.
Okay, good point though. Thank you. Anyone else? Or we have a motion? All right, is there a motion to approve BDDH, DA, JECCA, and KLB?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
Hold the board. Ms. Stubblefield?
Mrs. Briggs,
Yes.
Mr. Cathell,
Yes.
Mrs. Klein,
Yes.
Mr. Neal,
Yes.
Dr. Parsons,
No.
Mr. Peden,
Yes.
Miss Taylor,
Yes.
Mrs. West Warner,
No.
Mrs. Wright,
Yes.
7 yes, 2 no, and 0 abstentions.
So the motion passes. Okay. Moving on. We have 7.09 Community Advisory Board.
Dr. Wisted, any update with Community Advisory Board this evening? I'm sorry. Okay, thank you.
Right, so 7.10 IREA representative, Ms. Brown?
Good evening. My name is Blair Catlin Brown. I'm a school social worker at Selbyville Middle School and the proud president of IREA. Tonight, I'm using my time to mainly focus on gratitude. Sure, each and every staff member feels like we have the sword of Damocles hanging over us in the form of, will a referendum pass? Will there be more cuts? Will the 10% reduction in force that has led to 10% more work become 15% more or 20% more? We are completely and utterly exhausted, but our gratitude shines through with all of the work that we do and in our relationships with one another. Anyone listening may not hear thank you enough. So on behalf of Indian River Education Association, and bear with me, I'm gonna thank them all because we deserve to hear it. Thank you to the custodian crew who get to school before the sun rises and stay after the sun goes down to make sure the building is ready to go throughout the day. Thank you to the constables and the SROs who ensure that the building is safe and secure. Thank you to the food service workers who serve our students the fuel they need to learn. Thank you to the secretaries who keep us all in every department organized. Thank you to the special ed coordinators who work small miracles to hold all the necessary meetings and to maintain proper paperwork. Thank you to the special education teachers and the duly certified classroom teachers who meet individualized needs of each student, both because they must and also because they deeply care about each student's progress. Thank you to the classroom teachers who individualize lessons that will both educate and motivate our students to learn and grow. Thank you to the related service providers, the school counselors, the school social workers, the mental health counselors, the speech language pathologists, the occupational therapists, the deaf and blind teachers, the nurses, the BCBAs, the RBTs, the physical therapists, the psychologists who bring their unique perspective and expertise into our buildings and round out the teams that support our students. Thank you to the reading, math, and MLL specialists who bring focus to areas that when lacking can hold a student back, but when are valued can become a student's biggest strength. Thank you to the paraprofessionals who provide support and collaboration in ways that are too numerous and important to encapsulate in one sentence. Thank you to our IT staff who keep our technology working and somehow always find the grace to say, "Did you try turning it off and on again?" in a kind, calm tone. Thank you to the bus drivers who transport our students through all weather and traffic conditions. Thank you to the club advisors and coaches who enrich our students' lives and provide them experiences that they may not otherwise have. Thank you to school administrators who are the stewards of our school culture and the logistics of our everyday life in the building. Thank you to district staff who have the unenviable task of sifting through local and state regulations and codes. Thank you to board members who sign up for a thankless job and show up when called upon simply because you know that your community needed you to step up. Thank you to the families and friends who ensure that our students are ready for school each and every day. Thank you to the community members who support us and value us. If I missed anyone, please know that the person talking is one of those exhausted people that I mentioned earlier, and no slight was intended. To anyone who plays any role in ensuring that each and every student is loved and educated each and every time they step into our buildings, thank you for what you do. We hope that everyone has a wonderful Thanksgiving break. Thank you.
Can I ask
Thank you.
Blair a question? So, thank you for representing all the teachers. And I guess you've heard us talk a little bit about the, reading and math proficiencies and the challenges we have. I would just ask that if you could go back and ask your teachers what it is that they would find the most helpful, the most support, whatever it might be, that we can make that happen so we can increase the math and reading proficiency of our students. Would love to hear from the teachers on what they feel they need in support.
Yeah, we had a great discussion during district committee meeting this month about that as well, about what the teachers are sharing. Because they do like a lot of what's going on. The CKLA is widely liked by the educators that are providing it.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Brown. That was very well said. And we say ditto to thank you to everyone who makes a difference in Indian River School District.
Thank you.
Okay, Superintendent's Report, 8.01 monthly activities.
Thank you, Ms. Taylor. Within board docs is my listing of some of the highlights over the course of the month. I do want to mention three things. I was able to get to two Honor Society events. One was Indian River High School. The other one was North Georgetown. We do have elementary honor societies, which is in most of our elementary schools now, which is amazing. Helps put kids on a trajectory for success. So I got to see that that at the start of a student's career and also in their junior and senior years. So certainly a highlight. There's another one after Thanksgiving break, and those will continue. So try to attend as many of those as possible. Another highlight, learning walks. So at the beginning of the year, I was able to get around with each school in several classrooms, and I did round two over the last 2 weeks. I have 2 schools remaining, but it's really inspiring to get into our classrooms, see the hard work of our teachers and staff, and get to interact with our students. So certainly a highlight. Excellent things happening in our classrooms, and the support that is provided behind the scenes through PLCs from our administrators and our district staff to position our teachers to be successful, and just the time and energy that I saw in their classrooms is remarkable. So definitely a highlight, and look forward to continuing those after the break. And then finally, I've been able to attend several of all of the playoff games for Indian Rivers High School's football team, and to be in the stands and around, to see the community come out and to see the energy on the field. Not just the players, but, sitting beside the band and the energy they bring, our cheer team, pumping up the crowd, and just interacting with our community is really amazing. And you kind of see what's happening outside of our classroom in lots of ways. So that's from the football aspect, have been very successful. They will play in the state championship this Saturday, Delaware State at noon. I encourage everyone to come out and cheer them on. We've had some amazing teams this year, as well as our arts and chorus and bands, et cetera. So not just the football team's success this year, but they are certainly on a great path right now, and looking forward to seeing them on Saturday.
Wow, it's great to hear all those positives. Okay, so moving on to 8.02, district calendar changes.
Two items this evening: change of Philip Shaw Elementary's winter concert from December 16th to December 4th, and change the January 14th in-person professional development day to a regular school day. Students and staff would report to work. That is listed on our district calendar. That was something we've done differently this year, to consider those inclement weather days in lieu of PD days. Our PD days are very important. We work hard to embed them into our calendar. However, there's no substitute for having teachers in front of kids. We did have an inclement weather day, unfortunately, earlier this year due to flooding. So I would recommend for the board to consider changing that day to an in-person day for students. And we will consider that subsequent days as well if we have more inclement weather days. Just as a reminder, we have 5 built-in days already that we've built into our calendar. However, as we saw last year, those can be depleted pretty quickly with a rough winter. So I would ask for consideration for both of those this evening, and separately or collectively.
Make a motion to accept those.
In a second, we have a motion in a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So that passes. All right, moving on to 9, financial reports, 9.01. Financial summaries for month ending October 31st, 2025. Mr. Parker, welcome.
Thank you very much. I said this in the Finance Committee meeting, and I'll say it again here. It's time for the exciting portion of the evening. All right, the first document you have in your board docs there is our Part 1, the financial summaries. As of October 31st, we are 33% of the way through our current fiscal year. Our revenues we've received is at 187 million. That's 79% of our total budget. Included in that is 51.8 million, of which is our discretionary revenue. And our tax receipts that we have received so far is 59.3 million, or 85% of the total budgeted amount. We've also received 306,000 in interest income. Towards the bottom there, and for our expenditures, we've spent 66.7 million so far this year, about 28% of our total budgeted amount. That includes 22.5 million of our discretionary expenditures, or 34% of the total budget so far. And out of the tuition money available, we have spent 933,000, and the Howard T. Ennis expenditures total 7.3 million. The rest of this report is year-to-date expenditures by account code.
Mr. Parker, are we on track for our expenditures in comparison to past years? I mean, I don't know if you've looked at that.
I'm not sure about previous. Yes, I would say we are on track for
We're
with previous years and on track for the budget so far. So we've at 33% through the year. You can see our total spends there in each of the major categories are around that 30 to 33%.
Any other questions?
Oh, I just wanted to bring up the curriculum budget
Oh, I'm
again.
sorry. What was, what was what were your
So
questions?
we had, I guess borrowed from our curriculum fund.
That's
and it's
correct.
Down about half, and I was wondering when that was going to be replenished.
Yes, that'll be replenished this month in November. I think actually, I think it's gonna happen tomorrow, to be honest with you. But that's gonna be replenished this month. We've received our tax receipts now and from our large, deposit in October. We've also received our November's deposit so far, so we have gotten our local funds back up where they have the ability to replenish that money in the curriculum fund. And so you will see that, in the November reports.
Great, thank you.
All right, do we have a motion to accept the financial summaries?
So moved.
A second? We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes. Moving to 9.02, detail information for month ending October 31st, 2025.
All right, the second document there is our detailed information for the month. Some numbers here that I'll just point out. The student activity fund balance there, we have a balance of 308,000. In our federal funds, we have 2.6 million available so far. In donations and internal accounts, there's 1.4 million available. The total of the bottom two there, the 984 plus the 472. We'll report, I did have my first ever student activity fund meeting where I got to listen in to all the kids and the advisors come request what they would like out of this student activity line item. And that was great to see and interesting to go through, and you'll be seeing that coming up in next month's finance committee meeting.
It's great you get their input.
It is.
Okay, any other questions? All right, do we have a motion on the floor to approve the detailed information for the months? So moved in a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. Move into 9.03, major capital improvements for month ending October 31st, 2025.
All right, the next document is the major capital improvements report. We paid out approximately 704,000 in major capital improvements last month, and the balance available left on the project is 5.4 million.
Any questions? Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second. We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. Okay, moving to 9.04, minor capital improvements for the month ending October 31st, 2025.
All right, your final report is your minor capital improvements report. Out of the allocations available for use, we have spent and encumbered 3.5 million and have 1.1 million available to us as of the end of October.
Are there any plans to use those funds?
Yes, ma'am, there are. Mr.
Oh.
Dooley would love for me to just let him spend all of it on whatever he wanted, but we will make sure that he uses them correctly.
Thank you.
Any other questions? All right, do we have a motion to approve minor cap?
So moved.
Second. Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 9.04 passes. Okay, moving to, thank you, Mr. Parker.
Thank you.
Moving on to communications, 10.01 field trip request.
2 field trips this month, an overnight field trip by Indian River High School's wrestling team, January 1st through the 3rd to Lebanon, PA, and an overnight trip by Sussex Central's marching band and select choir members, March 20th through the 22nd to New York City.
Okay, so we need to take action on this. Any questions? Okay, do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So that passes. Moving on to 11.01 personnel agenda for November 24th, 2025.
Make a motion to approve.
Okay, in a second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That will pass. Moving on to 11.02, Personnel addendum for November 24th, 2025. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That will pass. Moving on to 11.03 contractual agenda for November 24th, 2025.
Motion to accept the contractual agenda.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Opposed? Passes. And then on 11.04, we have our notification of retirements. And we always want to wish our retirees to come the very, very best. And we want to say a sincere congratulations. We thank them for their hard work. Okay, moving on to 12.01, student number 2624.
Make a motion to.
I'll make a motion to uphold the hearing officer recommendation.
Second.
We have a motion for upholding the hearing officer's recommendation, and we also have a second on that. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It passes. Moving to 13.01, public comments. Dr. Owens?
Anyone wishing to provide public comment, whether in person or virtual?
Okay, so I need a motion for adjournment. And a second?
Second.
Meeting is adjourned.
Steve.
Yes.